Hello painters, and welcome to our channel Pintado a Juego. I'm Silvia, and today we are bringing you our most viewed video finally translated into English. Today we are going to show you how to apply decals. What are decals, you may ask? Decals, as you can see, are printed images similar to stickers that we use on miniatures, and the applying process is a bit harder. Although, if you follow the correct steps, you are going to learn how to use them very quickly and you'll be able to embellish your miniatures and make them look more realistic. In this video, we are going to explain the correct process, things to keep in mind and things to avoid. We are using a Walker Bulldog miniature, but you can follow these easy steps on any miniature you like. Wanna see how it's done? Follow me! We're back in the studio, so let's see how to use decals. The first step is to apply gloss varnish. This will help prevent decals looking too shiny once we're finished with the whole process. Note that we are only applying the varnish on places where we are going to apply decals afterwards. In this case, and this is just our preference, we are using the airbrush, but it is just as possible, although, to be fair, a little slower, to apply the varnish with the brush. Once the varnish has dried, we can move on to the decals. There are a couple of tools we should have ready before we begin. A pair of tweezers, a flat brush, a regular brush, a modeling knife or scalpel, and some lukewarm water. There are special brushes made for applying decals, but those are not necessary. Let's start by cutting out the decal with a scalpel. We are trying to get as close as possible to the picture, but it's just as important to leave enough paper to work comfortably with the decal. We have separated the decal from the sheet, and now we can think about where we want to place it. We can try some positions so that once we're ready, we know exactly where it'll go. In our case, we're gonna use these handles, leather things as a reference point and place the decal in between. Place the decal in the water container. Once again, it's important that it's at least lukewarm or warm, and we'll leave it there until the decal separates from the base. Now that the decal is ready to be used, we'll wet the surface with just a little bit of water to help the decal slide more easily and so that we can adjust it more comfortably. With the help of a brush, we'll move it onto the surface and get it to the right position. Once we've placed the decal, we'll remove any possible bubbles underneath, as well as the remaining water with a cotton swab and adjust it with the help of a brush, if necessary. If there is still some remaining liquid, we can carefully remove it using a napkin or a paper towel. We'll repeat the process for all decals. It may seem difficult at first, but once you've applied a few, you'll find it much easier. This time, we are using tweezers to adjust the decal. You can use any object you have at hand, just keep in mind not to apply a lot of pressure to avoid leaving marks or damaging the decal. If you are experiencing issues when removing the bubbles, it helps if you remember to move the cotton swab starting in the middle and then towards the sides, as opposed to from one side to the other. The bigger the decal, the more difficult the placement. But don't worry, if it bends or folds, you can still save the situation with a brush. In areas with more irregular surface, you can use decal softener. That way you'll achieve a better integration of the decal with your model. You can see that decals adapt easily to many different surfaces, so keep on trying if you don't succeed at first. You can practice on old minis if you worry you might mess up and ruin a miniature you really like. That way you get the feel of it and learn quickly how to apply them. Now that we're done with the tank turret, we'll move on to the chassis. Do you like the result so far? If you pay attention, you can still notice some shine, but don't worry, we'll get rid of it later. Long or broad decals may get ruined more easily, especially if you use a small or regular brush. Remember to switch to a flat brush instead. See, there is a tool for each situation, so plan ahead and you won't have any trouble no matter the decal you need to apply. Flat surfaces are easy, so be sure to practice on them to improve your skill. Now we'll apply decal fix over the decal and a little bit around it as well. There are some people who apply it to the mini before applying the decal in between the two, but I suppose everyone has their own preferences. You can try for yourselves and see what works best for you. We're almost finished. The decals are fixed in their final positions and they're dry, so the next step is to apply a couple of thin coats of matte varnish to even out the surface and finally remove the damn shine. And again, if you don't have an airbrush, don't worry, you can apply the varnish with a brush. Do you like the results? If you know of a different way to apply decals, please leave it in the comment section below. And here are some photos of the final product. Well, the decals. The miniature is far from finished. That's it! See how easy it is to apply decals on your miniatures? So don't be afraid and try it for yourself! If you have any tips or tricks that may help us or others, be sure to leave them in a comment below. And if you have any questions or doubts, don't hesitate to let us know so that we or someone else can help you. There will be more videos in English, so if you want to see any of our old or newer videos translated into English, let us know and we'll start working on it right away. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when we upload our next video. I'll see you the next time.